Hello, welcome. ASM case competition optimization of metacrystals for the mass production of COVID-19 pharma vials. This is ASCM team ID 2173699. On this slide, you can see our executive summary. On the left hand, you can see the current concerns facing metacrystal, and on the right, you can see our goals. Our goals consist of developing a high-level risk scoring methodology to score the suppliers and review mitigation activities, while also identifying other risk domains and their contributing factors and creating a risk matrix that's easily identifiable and identifying risk associated with each company. We're also looking at glasswork in Switzerland and working to determine the working capital impact there through the identification of obsolete inventory as well as surplus inventory. And then you have Fabricatus in Chicago. We're looking at the capacity constraints there and looking at making sure they can meet the increase in demand, and as well as why the plant manager feels the capacity is inadequate at Fabricatus and why the VP of operations feels the capacity is enough. And finally, we've made recommendations to the optimization production of vials without detracting from the production of other needed medical supplies and materials.
So the high-risk scoring methodology was based upon the information provided and assumptions we have listed on the left-hand side of our presentation. A few key points in our conclusion are that half of the providers are single source providers, meaning that if there's any delay in the manufacturing process, for example, a shutdown due to a virus outbreak, there would be substantial delays in the overall production of materials. 4 out of 12 providers have IP protection, which opens up the market for fraudulent duplications. And 4 out of 12 could make significant strides to improve data security for the firm. Based upon our findings, Real Glass and Besto Glass pose the highest risk to the supply chain. On this slide, you can see our matrix breakdown. We based it upon a 3-level tier. So red, of course, being the most substantial risk, yellow posing a moderate risk, and B being the great. So as you can see here, Real Glass and Besto Glass is definitely the major cause for the concern in the supply chain and production of the COVID-19 vials and ampules and syringes.
Here we'll go over the inventory position and working capital impact. With the information that was provided, we have concluded that there are SKUs that have become obsolete and SKUs that require more attention in the production process. SKUs that are become obsolete are SKUs that take longest to make, lowest APU trends, lowest standard price are obsolete. Shortest to make, highest APU trends, and highest standard price are SKUs that need to be produced in more quantities. This explains the working capital impact that is present due to the high amount of SKUs that are either obsolete or surplus or in surplus. The increased amount of obsolete and surplus SKUs create a wave that can increase the working capital at Glasswork. Fabricatus utilization and maximization. We have found that there are some inadequacies in the production manager's thought process. This is because he is available to the day-to-day operations, and he sees that there is a bottleneck in the production process. This allows us to have obsolete SKUs involved with the supply chain, which also divert resources away from the production of active SKUs.
This is a visualization of what we propose to modify. To maintain the current production while also meeting the demand for COVID-19 vial production, Fabricatus will need to streamline their manufacturing process, eliminating all bottlenecks throughout the production. With the introduction of a washing station and a hot forming station, the production will increase 325%. This functional realignment of equipment and reduction of bottlenecks in the manufacturing process will enable Fabricatus to remain agile and adaptive to anticipated COVID-19 vaccine production. Our conclusions are that to meet the increase in demand, Fabricatus must incorporate new equipment into its facility located in Chicago. Adding a hot forming station and washing station, the amount of time taken remains the same, but the production output increases exponentially. Real Glass and Besto Glass pose the highest risk to the supply chain. Additional resources and training should be considered. Optimization through innovation is necessary. A collaborative communication tool should be implemented to pull and generate metacrystals analytical data. Right now, each supplier is acting in a silo. By collecting and sharing all relative information, metacrystals can better adjust the needs of its business. And that concludes our presentation.